So let's talk about your first day at training at Carrington. You said it was the Friday that you went to training, correct?
Yeah. It wasn't Carrington, it was the Cliff.
Oh, it was the Cliff. It was still the Cliff.
Yes.
It was in between that period.
Yeah, it was,
right before.
the first season was all about the Cliff.
Okay, so when you walked into the Cliff, what was your first impression of the place?
I'm like, wow, how did they manage to win the treble? They have one pitch to train. The facilities are below average, and they still made it. How is that possible? Because in Italy at Inter, we had a fantastic training ground with brand new gym, a lot of pitches. We had rooms there, a cook, meeting rooms, everything, like top notch. And I arrive at Carrington, I'm like, really?
So how was the toilets like, the dressing room?
Everything is tiny. You have a small hot bath, small dressing room, a gym that barely anybody goes into. The physios is limited. At Inter, we had Baggio had his own physio, Ronaldo has his own physio, Vieri brought his own physio, Simic had his own physio, and so it was an army of fitness coach and physiotherapists. And I arrived in Manchester, I'm like, it's like the minimum from the minimum. It's all about football, enjoy yourself on the pitch, work hard, and it worked.
So when you walked into your first training session, I hear sometimes Manchester United have one of the most brutal training sessions. That's what I hear anyways, and I've read in autobiographies how sometimes players suss you out when you come in, but you've played with star names. Were you intimidated walking into the team that just won the treble?
No, I wasn't intimidated. I was relishing the challenge. This was always my mindset and still is. So I'm here to prove that I'm going to be one of them and do my best. So I'm fighting, I'm running hard, I'm working hard with them. And yeah, there is something that you have to adjust to, which is the pace of the game, the pace of the passes, the tackles, the physicality. But I'm a defender, so it's okay. You know, it's not like I'm gonna get bullied. I'm the one who's supposed to bully the strikers in a nice way. You know, you have to show aggressivity in training because the intensity of training is the same as the game.
It's the same as the game. Now, did you guys do that drill of boxes?
Yeah.
During training as well? I heard that sometimes they name the boxes differently. There was the Barclays box, the Championship box. Which one did you start in?
I started in the Championship box with the youngsters, you know,
Okay.
I was 20, 21. So I went with the young players. And then the older you get, or the more established in the team you get, the more
So
you
how do
move
you
up the
get
ladder.
into the Champions League box, for example?
Just by getting old.
That's it?
That's it, yeah, because the older you get, and the more established at the club you get, you move up. Yeah.
So who was in that Championship box with you, and who was in the Champions League box? Champions League was the highest.
Yeah, I think in my book there was Phil Neville, almost the same age as me. Who else? Jonathan Greening, Ronnie Wallwork, Danny Higginbottom, Quinton Fortune. And then some other, Jordi Cruyff. I think Ole was in that box.
The Championship box?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
first box was Roy Keane, Dwight York, Andy Cole, Teddy Sheringham.
The
But
big
because
guys.
it's only so two in the middle, 7, 8 players on the 6, 7 players on the outside.
Who was the most brutal in the boxes?
Brutal.
Yeah.
Well, as a brutal person, the first name that comes to mind is Roy Keane. But you have slight tackles from Paul Scholes who might get you injured even the day before the game. So